Welcome to GM Donda's e-learning class. Our today's subject is science. So now we will start our third chapter of the science, the moon. By the end of this chapter, you will learn the difference between the condition on the moon and the earth. You will come to know about the eclipse. Then identify the importance and uses of artificial satellites. Then why the moon appears or it changes its shapes every day, right? So you all are the aware with the name moon, but till now you were in that imagination that Chanda Mama Durke, but now you will learn what is actually moon. Moon has no atmosphere. It is smaller than the earth, and moon is the natural satellite of the earth, right? The moon is a ball of a rock. Moon is not a star. That you all know, right? About 1/4 of the size of earth is the moon and our nearest neighbor in the space. That is why it appears so big from the earth. Why? Because it is too much nearer from the earth. Although moon is the brightest object in the night sky, it does not give out light of its own. It is a ball of a rock, so it does not have its own light. It reflects the light of the sun. Here you can see in the picture, sunlight reflect on the moon, and that is why we can see the moon at night, right? The condition on the moon. There is no life on the moon. Why? Because just now I have told you that there is no atmosphere on the moon. It does not have any water and its surface is covered with a layer of dust. It has mountains and huge round of pits called craters on the surface. The mountains and the craters can be seen from the earth through a telescope. Here, picture on the page number 26 of your textbook. This is how the moon looks from the in the space, right? Just now I have told you that there is no atmosphere surrounding the moon. So there is no wind, no clouds and no rain on the moon. On the earth, atmosphere absorbs a part of the sunlight. So it does not becomes very hot during the day or does not becomes very cold during the night. But on the moon, there is no atmosphere. Retain heat at night, so does not becomes very cold. But on the moon, it is freezing cold at night and it is too hot during the day. If you shout on the moon, nobody can hear you. This is because sound travels in the air. हम एक दूसरे की बातें क्यों सुन सकते हैं? वाई? बिकॉज साउंड ट्रेवल्स इन अ एयर ओनली एंड देयर इज नो एयर ऑन द मून। तो वहाँ पे अगर आप इफ एनीवन शाउट ऑन द मून, नो वन कैन हियर। There is no air on the moon. The earth pulls everything down with the force of a gravity. See children, you all are knowing that earth has a gravitational force, right? And gravity attracts everything towards it, right? That is why anything that is thrown up comes down. अब हम बॉल भी अगर ऊपर फेंकते हैं, it will come down, right? The moon also pulls all things towards itself. Moon also has a gravity, but since it is much smaller than the earth, moon बहुत ही छोटा है, it is only about 1/6 of the gravity on the earth. Only 1/6 gravitational force is on the moon. अर्थ पे जितनी ग्रेविटी है उससे 1/6 पार्ट ग्रेविटी इज देयर ऑन द मून. दिस मीन्स दैट इफ यू कैन जम्प 1 meter हाई ऑन द अर्थ, on moon you can jump 6 meter high. Isn't it so wonder, right? मतलब अगर यहाँ पे आप 1 मीटर जंप लगाते हैं, you can jump 6 meter on the moon. Here if you take one step, there it will look like you move to 6 steps from the place wherever you are standing. In fact, your weight on the moon would only be 1/6 of your weight. मतलब हमारा जितना वेट होता है उससे only 1/6 part of the weight we will have on the moon. How the moon moves? The moon revolves around the earth in the same way the earth around the sun. मतलब जैसे अर्थ सन के आसपास रिवॉल्व करता है, द सेम वे मून रिवॉल्व्स अराउंड द अर्थ. मून कहाँ पे रिवॉल्व करता है? अर्थ के आजू बाजू. अर्थ इज अवर हाउस, राइट? अर्थ इज अवर होम. इट टेक्स अराउंड 28 days और नियरली अ मंथ. पूरा एक महीना या तो 28 days इट टेक टू कंप्लीट वन revolution around the earth, right? The moon is only natural satellite of the earth. A satellite of a star or a planet is an object that goes around the star or a planet. Natural satellite of planets are known as moons. The earth has only one moon. आप सब शायद थर्ड स्टैंडर्ड में या तो फोर्थ स्टैंडर्ड में ऐसा पढ़े होंगे. यू माइट हैव लर्न और रीड इन योर लेसन दैट अदर प्लैनेट्स आर ऑल्सो हैविंग देयर मून्स. किसी के पास ज़्यादा मून है, राइट? बट अर्थ इज हैविंग ओनली वन मून. दैट इज अवर नेचुरल सैटेलाइट, राइट? The moon has many names. The Roman called it Luna. The moon is about 4.5 billion years old. कितने साल पुराना है? 4.5 million years. It is most as old as the earth. The sun is about 4.6 million years old. See, these are the small things you can come to know, right? Now phases of the moon. See children, you all are aware that moon changes its shapes, right? The moon as seen from the earth appears to change its shape every day from a thin crescent. Now what is crescent? A curve that is thicker in the middle and thin at the ends, like a moon of a second day. बीच का जो चांद होता है, like same way, बीच में थिकर पार्ट होता है एंड एंड के दोनों साइड में इट्स वेरी थिन, दैट इज नोन एज अ क्रेसेंट. So, from a thin crescent to the full circular moon. That means moon changes its shapes from the crescent to full moon. This is because we only see the part of the moon that reflects the sunlight. मून के जितने पार्ट पर सन रेज का रिफ्लेक्शन आता है, ओनली दैट पार्ट ऑफ द मून वी कैन see from the earth. The rest of the moon is dark, and these different shapes of the moon as seen from the earth are called the phases of the moon. Here you can see in the picture children, here are it is shown the phases of the moon. Sun reflects its light, and how does it look on the second day, then fourth day, seventh day, 10th day, right? Phases of the moon as seen from the earth. As the moon moves along its orbit, a small portion of the side facing us gets sunlight. अपनी ऑर्बिट पे घूमते घूमते ओनली अ स्मॉल पोर्शन ऑफ द मून गेट्स द सनलाइट एंड दैट पार्ट इज रिफ्लेक्टेड एंड वी कैन सी देम crescent moon on the day 4th. In a week we can see half of the moon, that is on the 7th day. After 3 more days we see 3/4 of the moon. This is gibbous moon, the day 10. In 2 weeks the entire side face. See, these are the small things you can come to know, right? Now phases of the moon. See children, you all are aware that moon changes its shapes, right? The moon as seen from the earth appears to change its shape every day from a thin crescent. Now what is crescent? A curve that is thicker in the middle and thin at the ends, like a moon of a second day. बीच का जो चांद होता है, like same way, बीच में थिकर पार्ट होता है एंड एंड के दोनों साइड में इट्स वेरी थिन, दैट इज नोन एज अ क्रेसेंट. So, from a thin crescent to the full circular moon. That means moon changes its shapes from the crescent to full moon. This is because we only see the part of the moon that reflects the sunlight. मून के जितने पार्ट पर सन का सन रेज का रिफ्लेक्शन आता है, ओनली दैट पार्ट ऑफ द मून वी कैन सी फ्रॉम द अर्थ. द रेस्ट ऑफ द मून इज डार्क, and these different shapes of the moon as seen from the earth are called the phases of the moon. Here you can see in the picture, children, here are it is shown the phases of the moon. Sun reflects its light, and how does it look on the second day, then fourth day, seventh day, 10th day, right? Phases of the moon as seen from the earth. As the moon moves along its orbit, a small portion of the side facing us gets sunlight. अपनी ऑर्बिट पे घूमते घूमते only a small portion of the moon gets the sunlight, and that part is reflected, and we can see them crescent moon on the day 4th. In a week we can see half of the moon, that is on the 7th day. After 3 more days we see 3/4 of the moon. This is gibbous moon, the day 10. In 2 weeks the entire side facing us gets sunlight, and that we call the full moon day, day 14 or a 15, or a Purnima, full moon day or a Purnima. After this the phase is reverse. But डे 1 से 14 डे तक जो सिचुएशन, मतलब मून के जितने फेजेस होते हैं वो रिवर्स होना शुरू होते हैं. एंड हियर यू कैन सी 7 डे में हाफ मून, देन यहाँ से फिर से वही प्रोसेस स्टार्ट होती है, राइट? Here you can observe on the 4th day and 25th day, right? It looks like a sail. Now landing on the moon. These American astronauts Neil Armstrong, Edwin Aldrin and Michael Collins were the first to visit the moon in the spacecraft called the Apollo 11. Neil Armstrong and Edwin Aldrin walked on the moon on 21st July 1969. Neil Armstrong was the first human to step on the moon. Here you can see the picture. One person is walking on the moon. Now, what is eclipse? If we shine a torch towards a wall or on the ball, you try with the ball, you shine a torch on your ball, and if you will put your hands in between, that part of the ball will not appear, right? उतने पार्ट में बॉल में वहाँ पे लाइट नहीं दिखती है. सेम इज गिवन हियर ऑल्सो. वॉल पे अगर हम लाइट टॉर्च करते हैं, एंड इफ वी पुट आवर हैंड्स इन बिटवीन एंड द वॉल, टॉर्च एंड वॉल के बीच में अगर हम हमारा हाथ बीच में रखते हैं, वी कैन सी द शेडो ऑफ द hand, right? The earth and the moon also cast shadow in space when sunlight falls on them. When this shadow falls on the another heavenly object, it causes an eclipse. दूसरे किसी हेवनली बॉडी पे जब ये शेडो फॉर्म होता है, एट दैट टाइम इट कॉज द eclipse. There are two type of eclipse, solar eclipse and lunar eclipse. Sometimes the moon comes in the between sun and the earth. सन और अर्थ के बीच में जब मून आ जाता है, at that time it then blocks the light of the sun. मतलब सन और अर्थ के बीच में जब मून आता है, it blocks the light of the sun which is falling on the earth, right? Then it casts the shadow on the earth. The people in the shadow can either not see the sun at all or cannot see or can see only a partial, थोड़ा ही पार्ट दिखता है. We call this as a solar eclipse. If the sun is completely blocked by the moon, we experience a total solar eclipse. अगर पूरा ही सन शेडो से कवर हो जाता है, then we can show the total solar eclipse. If it is only partially blocked, we experience a partial solar eclipse. The eclipse ends when the moon continues. मतलब मून जब फिर से अपनी ऑर्बिट पे मूव करना शुरू कर देता है, तब हमें रिफ्लेक्शन शेडो का पार्ट कम हो जाता है, एक्लिप्स एंड हो जाता है. When the moon continues on its orbit and moves away, a solar eclipse lasts only for around 7 minutes. ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा कितने मिनट का होता है? 7 minutes. Never watch a solar eclipse directly even through sunglasses. हमें कभी सोलर एक्लिप्स अपनी आँखों से नहीं देखना चाहिए. The light from the sun is very strong and can damage our eyes. सन से जो रेज निकलते हैं while the solar eclipse, it can damage our eyes, right? Now lunar eclipse. See, I will first show you the pictures. Here is the picture of solar eclipse on the page number 30th, right? How it block the path of the reflection. Reflection कैसे ब्लॉक हो जाता है, that is also मतलब how it form the shadow, वो यहाँ पे दिखाया on the page number 30th. And this is the first picture is of solar eclipse. Now I will explain you lunar eclipse. When the earth comes in the between the sun and the moon, जब अर्थ सन और मून के बीच में आ जाता है, the shadow of the sunlight अर्थ कैन फॉल ऑन द मून. मून के ऊपर अर्थ का शेडो फॉल होता है, वाई? बिकॉज इट ब्लॉक्स द लाइट. अर्थ अपने शेडो से उसका पैथ ब्लॉक कर देता है लाइट का, एंड दैट इज वाई वी विल नॉट बी एबल टू सी द मून और कैन ओनली सी इट partially, right? We call this lunar eclipse. If the shadow of the earth covers the moon completely, it is known as a total lunar eclipse. When it covers moon only partially, we have a partial lunar eclipse, right? Here is the picture of lunar eclipse. मतलब जब थोड़ा ही पार्ट ब्लॉक हो जाता है, दैट इज नोन एज अ पार्शियल लूनार एक्लिप्स, और पूरा ही मून अगर कवर हो जाता है, दैट इज नोन एज अ टोटल लूनार एक्लिप्स. Now, artificial satellites. Humans have been successful in placing their own satellites around the Earth. These satellites are sent up in the rockets. Rockets से satellites हम space में send करते हैं. They revolve around the Earth and are used for the various purpose. They are known as artificial satellites. Sputnik 1 was the world's first artificial satellite. It was launched on 4th October 1957 by the Russians. It orbited the Earth for 6 months. Aryabhatta was India's first satellite, launched on 19th April 1975. Here is the meaning given. Here is the meaning given of a launch word. Means to send something, missiles or anything, or a satellite into the air, right, or in the space. Here you can see the picture on the page number 31. One of the most important uses of the satellite is communications. Communication satellites. Do you know, children, why today we are able to watch the TV or use the internet? That is because of these satellites, right? GSAT-18 are used to relay the television and radio programs. They are also used for the sending telephone signals to far off the places. That is because of today we can talk sitting in the any of the city of India. We can talk to our relatives or a friend in the living in the far away places, like in the abroad, right, foreign countries में. We can easily talk now because of these satellites. Another important use of the artificial satellite is its study the atmospheric condition, so that accurate forecast, हमें आगे की forecast means आगे जो भी weather होने वाला है, that we can come to know by this through these satellites. Weather satellites, for example, InSat 3DR are used for this purpose of forecast. Navigational satellites are used to pinpoint the position of any objects or a person on the earth. In India, India is developing its own navigational system called IRNSS, with the launch of 7 satellites. Some satellites are used to photograph the earth from the above and give valuable information about the natural resources or any information about the other countries. For example, are used to study star and the planets, like astronauts use. So what we have learnt in this chapter? Difference between the gravity of moon and earth, the weather condition of the moon, difference between the weather condition of moon and earth, right? Then phases of the moon, how the moon look, right? How it revolves, it changes shapes. Then who first step on the moon? Then eclipse, lunar and the solar eclipse. Here you can see the picture, right? Then artificial satellites, how it useful to us. There are different satellites for different uses. Communication satellites for photographs, for navigation, right? For forecast means weather condition. So this way we can use the satellites. Satellites sent into the space through the rockets, right? Missiles and satellites. And these artificial satellites help us in many ways. Watch our favorite programs using mobile and TV, computer, laptop, internet, right? And other purpose also. So I hope you all have understand the chapter properly. Now you all will read the chapter 2-3 times. Then you will learn all the exercise whenever teachers sent it to you. Understand? Okay. Have a nice day. Bye.